Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I just came back from the IPF Classic Worlds 2018, as you can see from my t-shirt.
Really spectacular, spared no expense.
Absolutely spectacular design, spared no expense. Top of the line.
Spared no expense. We spared no expense. Spared no expense.
So today I just want to talk about kind of what I've been up to, what I've been doing, and how Worlds went, including my training prior. And I know I haven't been making a lot of videos, but I actually have been filming in front of the camera. I just never decided to really put the footage out there for whatever reason. But essentially before, I was actually feeling quite good after the Arnold. My body isn't really hurting anymore when I sneeze or when I walk or when I talk or, you know, when I live life. You know, working with some people and my rehab was going better. And yada yada yada. And then I decided to start training, and actually start training, not just do 2 times a week and slow my regression. So I had 10 weeks out from Worlds, so I was training super hard for about 8 weeks. Training itself started off pretty good. One of the most horrible workout sessions ever. I felt like puking. I can't remember the last time I felt like puking. And every training session was just kind of got progressively more painful. I'm literally fixing myself to break myself. I mean, I'd be warming up and it'd be like an RPE 10 of pain, and then it dropped to about an 8. And as I kept doing my sets, it would end up to be around a 5, and I actually feel okay after the workout, which leads me to believe it's probably all neuromuscular. But anyways, I was able to train for about 8 weeks before my body decided to go like, no more training. What I mean by this, from a pain standpoint, it wasn't really progressing anymore. It like hit a baseline, so I just decided to keep training with it. But eventually, like for squats, I couldn't squat the way I wanted to. Like my bar path wouldn't go where I wanted it to. It kind of bottomed out at a quarter squat as soon as I got to like something like 100 kilos. And the only way I could get down to depth was if I actually relaxed and let the weight push me down, almost as if I was in a suit. Same thing with bench. I was benching and I couldn't touch my chest anymore because it was just so tight in here. It felt like my pec was gonna tear. And on deadlifts, I simply just couldn't set up into the position that I wanted to. So yeah, about 2 weeks out, I decided to kind of scrap training altogether. The risk was so high, whereas the reward was pretty much little to nothing. I wasn't really getting anything out of it. And surprisingly, taking that time off, I actually felt a lot better, which leads me to believe that my injuries are actually quite good. And this time around, I was just very overworked. The heaviest I've squatted was around the 180s. Bench actually went okay. I mean, aside from it being hard to touch my chest, I actually benched about where my opener was, like in the 130s. And on deadlifts, the heaviest thing I've hit was probably 247.5, if I remember. And I actually failed like 250-ish right after that. So when I came to the Worlds, I really didn't know what to expect. But I knew I was always a game day lifter. And I mean, knock on wood, I don't know if this is wood, but I always do good on game day, even no matter how the training prep goes. And I always joke around that like, oh, you know, my body's just like this, so I need to, it's telling me that I need rest more than anything. And on meet day, when I take Advil, adrenaline, I don't feel that stuff anyways, because it wasn't a lack of strength, it was like a lack of mobility, whether it was from pain or some neural disruption or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, squats went okay actually. Everything felt super heavy on my back, even my warm-ups, like it was hard to walk out, but hit 200, felt kind of heavy, so we went to 210, felt really heavy, so we just jumped 5 kilos, and it looked okay on the video, but it felt really bad. I've slowed down my squat, which helps a lot, but my hips like to shoot back now, because my butt doesn't want to expand that way. But anyways, squats went okay. Then we went to bench. 130 moved really well. 137.5 was hard. And yeah, I didn't get 140. I started helicoptering and it was weird. My right arm wanted to go back and my left arm was just staying there. So, and that's the shoulder I hurt before. So maybe it's just a little weak, I don't know. But I was kind of surprised about that because out of everything, I'd say bench training was actually going well. And it was just nice to be training again. So there was that. And then we went to deadlifts. Opened at 267.5. which is 20 kilos higher than anything I did in training. But, you know, I opened at 267.5 at the Arnold, so I figured it's probably a safe bet. So I did that, felt really good. I went to 285.5 to trip my record. And it also felt okay. It felt pretty heavy. Like, it was probably the hardest 285.5 I've ever lifted. Probably on par with the one I lifted at Nationals. Because I feel like the strongest my deadlift has been was in Saguenay at Nationals. And it's just kind of slowly regressed. And then after that, we put on 302 for a little bit. But I knew it wasn't gonna happen anyways. And I mean, even when I came to the venue and I met Gino for the first time, he's like, you know what? I don't care if you guys want to lose. I don't care about 666. I just want to hang out with you guys. And that really resonated with me in terms of what I wanted from the meet. So, and I didn't want to load 302.5 just to have it not budge. So I decided to take it down because the next time I load 666, I want to get it. So yeah, I dropped down to 290.5, mostly because it would be a 500 gram PR for my all-time best in the warm-up room with beer.
Oh man.
Yeah, and on 290.5, when I did my hip pump, my hips actually shot back up, and if you look really closely, you can actually see that. And that's kind of been happening all training cycles, so maybe I actually just got lucky in my first and second. Looking back at it, it would have actually given me back the national total record. So it was a good call, but I want to mess it up anyway, so it doesn't matter.
There it is. Oh no!
Just a bit too much
That's
today.
right.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. So I finished the meet, had a ton of fun again, and the big ups to all the other competitors. The standard is just growing and growing, and it's just gonna keep growing for like years on end. So I have a lot of work to do now. I also ended up getting tested again with the great Eddie Berglund. So that means I've been tested a total of 3 times now since I got an OMT back on Mother's Day. I'm getting drug tested! Oh my god! I'm really glad I went to Worlds. Leading up to it, I wasn't really sure, you know, like why am I doing this? Like why did I apply? Why did I get in? Especially seeing like all these other athletes dropping out due to injuries. But it's done now, and I have all the time in the world to heal. So that's gonna be #1 priority. I have a lot of work to do to reach the goals I want to.
This is the signature on Clifton Foe's banner. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Clifton Foe can pull 4.5 times his body weight. And I'm going to be there to announce 666, the number of the foe.
And coming up, I will be moving to Toronto. So if you guys are there, I will see you there. And in the more short term, we will be having another Lift On barbecue with probably a deadlift party this time. So yeah, but all in all, it was a great experience again. It was awesome being at Worlds and being able to compete again.
Gains!
That's probably the end of my junior career, so I'm really excited to go to the open class where things really matter. So yeah, other than that, guys, thanks for all your support again. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, if you have any questions, concerns I can help you with, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you guys around. Stay humble, give back, and lift on.